It's 4 a.m. I always get up at this time so that I don't have to deal with other people in the morning. I am an introvert. I go to bed early so that I can use that as an excuse to never have to socialize past 9 p.m. I work out at the gym when no one's there so that I don't get caught up in having to do small talk. I order my groceries online so that I don't accidentally bump into people at the store. I'm kind of socially awkward. I like to avoid any type of human connection, really. For work, I do what a lot of people would call being an influencer, but my social media is really all facade. I mean, I've never really been a people person, so I decided to create this online false persona so that I could be deemed as valued and relevant by others. Okay, that's not what my life actually looks like. I definitely am an introvert, but I am not that much of a jerk. There's definitely truth to what I just explained, but the reasons are slightly different than what I just explained. There's just so many myths as to what it looks like to be an introvert, and I just thought we should play on these myths for a second. But in all seriousness, if you want to understand how and why I can be an introvert and also have social media be the thing that I do for work, let me show you. So I do get up at 4 a.m. Because I'm an introvert, I receive my energy from being by myself. And so to set myself up for success, having that time to myself and spending that time with myself in the morning before anyone else wakes up is just key to me feeling incredibly energized for the rest of the day. I do go to bed at 9 because I've realized how important a consistent bedtime is for me feeling energized every single day. And this is not something I've always done, but I'm really aware that if I get quality sleep, it does get a lot easier for me to stay on top of like the workout routine and my healthy diet and the habits that align with the goals that I have and who I really deep down want to be. And yes, I do order my groceries, but that's because it's so convenient with my work. If I get my groceries delivered, then I'll have more time to work on the projects I'm working on. And sometimes I do go grocery shopping, and when I do, this is how I roll. Get it? Stupid. And yes, I do enjoy having the gym to myself. I mean, who doesn't? But I also really like to work out with people around me, as long as those people allow me to get in the zone. Lately, I've actually been going to these group classes, and it's been such a good change up in my workout routine. The most important thing for me is that I get to go into my own little world, my own little bubble, and that's especially because of my introvert type. There's actually different introvert types, which is something that we're gonna talk about a little bit later in this video. And here's the thing, I actually love running into people. I love creating deep human connections. And I actually think that a lot of people would describe me as someone who's outgoing. I'm sure some people would even be quite shocked to find out that I'm an introvert. And looking at my social media, I completely understand why. But the difference between an introvert and an extrovert has to do with how we recharge and where we get our energy from. Introverts get that from being by themselves, and extroverts get energy from being around other people. So yes, as an introvert, I do enjoy being around other people. But for someone like me, I may be able to socialize for a shorter amount of time until it's time for me to step back and then recharge my energy again. There's so many myths about being an introvert and an extrovert for that matter, but studies have actually shown that it's not as black and white as people have made it seem to be. You can have extrovert and introvert tendencies, and those are called ambiverts. Hope I pronounced that right. And for these type of people, it really depends on the situation, what direction they lead towards. But even deeper than that, as an extrovert, you can be an agentive or an affiliative extrovert. And as an introvert, you can be a social introvert, a thinking introvert, an anxious introvert, which also could be described as like a shy introvert, or a restrained introvert. Feel free to pause the screen right now if you want to get a better idea of what your personality type leads to. I am for absolutely sure the thinking introvert. They're described as the dreaming wallflower, which is very accurate. These people are super introspective and in tune with their emotions. They don't mind socializing, but they don't always prioritize it as much because they often get caught up in their own little dreamy world, which is also very accurate. And that really leads me to why me being someone who uses social media a lot as a very fulfilling thing for me to do. I feel so deeply that my purpose and what I live for is to help people create more self-belief and trust in themselves and like freaking follow any goal and dreams that they have for themselves. I really want to spread messages and share stories and impact people in becoming more conscious and more aware of the decisions and choices and their thought patterns so that they can better their life and their own reality. And I absolutely love creating creative projects and combining those together with creating videos like this one or some fun reels that that help me get my message out, but still be in my own little world as the introvert. Like day to day, it's just me and my camera. There's nobody in this room. But even more than that, it's just me working in front of my computer. And so I get to be by myself, but I still get to fulfill my life purpose. And like I mentioned previously, my type of introvert is very much someone who goes into their own little world and lives in their own little like bubble. And that's so what I do when I come up with these ideas for videos. I just think that's so fun. It's too... What do they say? It's two something in one. It's two smacks in one. Let's just go with that. And that also means that what I'm doing right now was just as exciting when no one was watching, when I had 0 followers. I still truly enjoyed it. And so no, my social media, I don't feel is a facade. I always do my absolute best to be as authentic as possible. I have a handful of people probably who I'm really close to. Some really deep relationships that are just super, super meaningful to me. Even though I don't hang out with people all the time, when I do, I feel like I'm fully present and I give those people my full utmost attention. Those are the ones that fill up my soul and my cup when I have those like really deep conversations. Even though I don't spend a lot of my time being social and being with other people, I feel like when I am, I make it count. When I'm in big gatherings and there's a lot of small talk, I do feel like I can get drained more easily. I just really like to spend time with myself, and I think the most important relationship that we're ever gonna have is the relationship that we have with ourselves. And so I think it's pretty healthy to want to spend time with ourselves and discover and evolve and really get to know ourselves on a deeper level. I think that if we feel different than the people that we're around, it can make us feel like we're doing something wrong, that we are wired wrong. I remember in high school when my friends would want to go out every Friday and every Saturday, and sometimes I enjoyed it, but sometimes after a full week I just wanted to rest, and I was feeling weird because I didn't understand why I wouldn't want to socialize just like them. But if I'd known what kind of introvert I am and why I was feeling that way, that I needed to recharge by myself, I think I would have a better understanding for myself, and I would allow myself to do what was actually right for me instead of making myself wrong. And that's why I think it's actually super beneficial that maybe we have a little bit of understanding for our personality type in order for us to understand ourselves and just relax in the fact that we are that way and accept ourselves for it. There's this other personality assessment called the Sparketype that I had heard so many people talk about, the people whose podcasts I listened to, and they had said that this Sparketype assessment had just helped their lives and learned to understand themselves better and all these different things. And so 6 months later, I decided to finally take it after having heard about it so many times. And it actually really helped me out. I'm not sponsored or anything. It's something I really enjoy. I found out that my primary Sparketype was the maker. And it was literally so on point. Every single thing was just like, it blew my mind. They just knew me. Just helped me understand why I enjoy the things that I do. It got me very clear on my strengths, what I maybe shouldn't necessarily focus so much on because it just doesn't lit up my soul as much as these other things that I enjoy so deeply do. Just made it very clear on what direction to go moving forward. And I think that for anyone who maybe is a little bit doubting their career path or doubting what direction to take next, what to do if they're like battling, I really think that this test maybe could help you out as well. I really think that the better we know ourselves in all these different things, the more we study ourselves, whether that be these like personality assessments or just like self-development books and questioning ourselves, I think that our life gets a lot more simple because we know our values, we know who we are, and we know what we want for our life. And knowing that, I mean, it's like a process, right? It's not something we know and then we know it forever. No, it's a process. I think life gets a lot easier because all of those simple little decisions that we have to make every day, all day, are easy, are simple, because we know who we are, we know what we want, and we know what fills us with energy and lets our soul on fire. It can be so easy to put ourselves and other people in boxes, but until we actually understand ourselves and the other people, we can put some sort of label on that as being a negative thing. I think we should just learn to understand it and accept everybody and ourselves. That way our life and our journey just gets so much more magical. I want to know, if you do research this introvert or extrovert, or you take the Sparketype test, I want to know what you found out about yourself that you maybe knew but you never really acknowledged. I think that's really interesting. So let me know in the comments below. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to try it out. Other than that, I just hope you have a beautiful day and that you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you want to hang out with me again some more. I hope you have a beautiful day. I think I already said that, but thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you a big hug. Bye.